Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm great. This has been a good week for me in terms of getting all my finals out of the way. I had 2 today, actually, which is why I read the chapter this morning, and I was gonna try to film something this morning because I had like 4 hours to kill, but instead I put those 4 hours into studying for one of my finals, which was kind of the important thing to do. And I have one more tomorrow. So yeah, after that I'm off school, but I also have a job now, so I don't know how that's going to work out in the future, but if I ever have to work when I'm on a Wednesday, and if I don't have time to get the review out, then it might not get out. But anyway, what I was going to talk about was, I was on Bleach Wikia today, and I don't usually go on Bleach Wiki. I used to go on Bleach Wiki a lot. I used to add a lot of stuff to it, but I went on today looking around, and I found something very interesting. I'm not sure what the source of this was. I probably could have found it if I looked, but I was looking in the execution page, and I've actually found that Yukio has a last name. And I was shocked by this, and, because, you know, that's the only execution member we don't know the name of. So it turns out his last name is Yukio Hans, I don't know. Turns out Yukio's German. Didn't call that one. Yeah, that's all I got for an opening skit. Title sequence! Hey everybody, Tekking101 here to do Bleach Chapter 477. I guess I'll just make the hat a regular thing for December. I seem to got positive feedback. But anyway, we get a title page this week, and it's of Gincho scratching his head. I mean, I know the whole purpose of that being there is just to see the color scheme of Gincho's Bankai, which, you know, I'm kind of disappointed because, you know, we'll get to it when we get to the chapter, obviously, but Gincho's Bankai existed for like 2 chapters, and in this chapter we're led to believe that he's out of the picture, or at least can't fight anymore. So I feel kind of like disappointed that we didn't get to see his Bankai as much. I mean, I don't even think we got to see, like, he expressed, you know, I have hollow powers, and we got to see him use the Sero, but that was pretty much it. Anyway, chapter opens with an inner monologue. I guess it's Gincho who's thinking this. And once again, shown in cliche number 18, he just got cut down, and in the middle of getting cut down, he's having this monologue, but whatever. You know, he basically exposits about the stuff we already knew from last chapter, about how, you know, Soul Society had a rigidity that was ended by Ichigo, and the one who changed Gincho was... And then we cut to the title card. The Lost 2. Okay, you know what? I think it's finally time I said something about this. I have been reviewing Bleach for 6 months, and I've probably mentioned this before at some point, but I haven't really given it much recognition. I know this isn't a typical shonen cliche, this is just something Kubo does, but screw it. Shonen cliche number 20. Constantly recycling title names. I don't know if that's just because he's going with the theme of, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Kubo always does a thing where the titles sound like, you know, tracks off a CD. That's why, there was one chapter title where they were going back in the past, and it was like side A, side B. He's doing like a track thing on a CD or a record or something. That's why he's doing that, like the twos and stuff. But at a point, it just gets like ridiculous. I mean, I'm not going to complain that much because it's just a freaking title name. I don't care what the chapter's called. I don't care how many freaking numbers are after it. Not going to mention Decide, because we're all thinking of Decide. What was Decide? I think it was like 23 or 22. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to mention that, the recognition it deserves for that. Shonen cliche number 20. Okay, moving on. Chapter opens with Ichigo slamming Gincho into the ground, and we all thought he was going to die because, you know, he had a big cut right across his chest. But no, he didn't die. Gets right back up and clashes with Ichigo. Except Ichigo, I think, has had enough at this point and just decides to cut his freaking sword in half, which just proves again that even though Gincho has Ichigo's powers, he's still not freaking Ichigo. Ichigo can still kick his ass any day of the week, and I think he was just, like, playing with him this whole time, because Ichigo just so casually, like, cuts his sword in half. Like, he doesn't even try. He's just like, he could have done that at any moment, but he didn't because he wanted to give Gincho a fair fight or something, but whatever. Cuts Gincho's sword in half, And I guess Gincho finally succumbs to his wound he got last chapter, which, you know, kind of good thing too, because they made such a big deal about Gincho getting cut down by Ichigo last chapter, and then he gets right back up and starts fighting again. So I'm like, no, that really, like, what the point with, like, making it such a big deal? Like, that's how they ended the chapter. But he finally succumbs to his wound, and he falls on his knees, and I really don't know what those things on Gincho's back are supposed to be. They look like exhaust pipes made out of bone or something. I don't know. But anyway, so Gincho hits the ground, tries to get back up, falls down again, looks up, sees Ichigo over him, and I'm not really sure what kind of emotion Ichigo's trying to get across here. If he's, like, sad that he cut him down, or he's sad that the Soul Society got him screwed over and that's what he became, or that just he's happy he finally finished him, because really, he should be pretty pissed at Gincho for all the stuff he's done to him in the past couple chapters, but Ichigo's not the type to... He's the type to, like, he would, like, forgive someone, you know. Not always, as we've seen, like, from Aizen and stuff, considering I think Ichigo should be more angry at Tsukishima than Gincho, but anyway, Gincho has this little dying monologue. He's thinking about, oh, what would happen if the situations were reversed? What would happen if you were the first substitute Shinigami and you got screwed over? What would happen then? Would you look on me the same way I look on you? Anyway, his thoughts get interrupted when Tsukishima attacks Ichigo from behind. Oh,
come on! Why won't he just die?
Really, though? Why won't he? I mean, by the way, in case you don't know, that clip was from the Venture Brothers, I think episode Fallen Arches from Season 2. That's a great episode, great show. I love the Venture Brothers. Anyway, but, I mean, okay, I was willing to believe when Gincho said, oh, yeah, he has a hole in his chest, he's missing his heart, even though in these frames, the hole looks like to be a little bit smaller, but I don't know. But anyway, even though when Gincho said that, you know, he had 10 minutes to live, I was a little disbelief because, you know, lack of a heart, lack of a spine, but I was willing to believe it. If he was just going to lay on the ground and then die 10 minutes later. But no, you can't do that. You can't have him come back to life, have enough strength to jump in the air and attack him from above. So, you know, because I'm such a continuity freak and I just need to have closure, I'm just gonna make up my own little scenario of what happened, how Tsukishima stood back up again. Here you go. Wow, I really did not see that coming with his sword. But, you know, I've lived a good life. Mind fucked a couple hundred people, got these awesome suspenders, even got this scar over my right eye that I really don't know how I got. Oh well, guess this is it. Relax, Tsukishima. Your time has not yet come. Are you God? Yes, my child. I am the creator of this universe and all its beings within. I am known as Kubo. Oh, that's cool. Indeed, my son, indeed. Now rise, Tsukishima. Your work is not yet finished yet. Oh my god! I'm alive again! This is amazing! I can move even though I'm missing a spine! Yes, my child. Now you must go and attack Ichigo from behind. Oh, well, you wanted me to go back and fight. Well, you see, I was actually planning on taking this newfound life and going to South America, maybe renting out a beach condo and attack Ichigo! Fine, I'm going. Jeez. There you go, folks. I just solved the major plot hole in this chapter. No need to thank me. But anyway, Rukia jumps in between Ichigo and Tsukishima right about before he's going to cut him, and then a door opens up in her chest, and Riruka pops out. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I mean, we all figured that Riruka put herself into Rukia because of that, but, you know, I thought, you know, that's a wasted opportunity right there. You could have had so many awesome opportunities for her to, to stay within, Rukia, and then she could be, like, a constant threat. You know, she could pop out whenever she wanted and, like, attack Ichigo and her friends, but instead, she just came out, like, 3 chapters later, so... you know, whatever. But she even mentions that this is not the memory cut. This is just the regular cut that he uses to kill people. Though how she can you know, recognize the difference from that, I really can't tell. I mean, I understand that, like, his memory cut doesn't actually, you know, it doesn't bleed, it doesn't leave a cut. But from what we've learned from Orihime, when you get cut by his sword regardless, it feels like you're getting cut. So I don't know how she can tell the difference. But anyway, Tsukishima finally does something that I didn't even think he was capable of. He expresses an emotion! But then he starts yelling at the sky. I'm not really sure if that's because of his wound or if it's just because he cut Riruka down. So Tsukishima starts shouting at Gincho, please don't die, and Riruka just shouts at him, just get it already, we couldn't save Gincho. But the person that could save Gincho was Ichigo. yeah, that's kind of a lot of goes in one sentence. But, yeah, so apparently, I guess Gincho dies. I'm not really sure if this is just his dying thoughts or if we're just going back in the past again. But we get a flashback of, I guess that's Tsukishima when he was a little kid. He's hiding under a tree. Gincho arrives. He's still a Shinigami. He says, I guess you're alone. So that makes two of us. I guess we'll be alone together from now on. And that's the chapter. Okay, so short chapter. Really good for me, too, because of the day I've been having. But anyway, so I guess Gincho's dead now. Like I said before, I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to see his Bankai. You know, his Bankai, it was just led up to be so cool. Like, he has all of Ichigo's powers. He might have his Hollow powers. And, you know, aside from the Sero, we're never going to see that again. So, at the end of the chapter, his eyes are shut, so whatever. But next chapter, flashback, get to see how Tsukishima and Gincho met. This is probably going to be a much longer flashback than the one we had before with just the Fullbring members. We're probably going to get to see how Tsukishima got his scar. Actually, wait, hold on a second. Did he have the scar already? Oh, he did. Oh, okay, he was in the process. He's shown bleeding from the eye. So I guess we'll see, you know, how he got the scar. It'll probably just be ended up like having like a hollow attack or something cliche like that. But anyway, so probably find out how, you know, how Gincho got screwed over by the Soul Society. This might be a whole arc, you know, because we have a lot of questions we have to ask here, like what's going to go on, like what the situation Gincho was in and everything, what made him become a substitute Shinigami. So I'm just preparing you guys in advance. We might be at the brink of one of those turn back the pendulum thingamadoos. Probably not as long, but I'm saying at least 3 or 4 chapters. So anyway, this is Tekking101 signing out. Merry Christmas, everybody.